Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nurul Khotimah and today I'm going to give a presentation about my English article review. The presentation will be in 4 parts. First, I'm going to talk about the introduction. Second, I'm going to talk about the article identity that I used in this article review. Third, I'm going to talk about summary of the article. Fourth, I'm going to talk about my point of view for the article. First, I'd like to introduce the main topic of this article review. They are about the relationship of migraine with smartphone use. The use of smartphones and computers has increased significantly since the 1990s, especially in recent years around the world. As we know, we are all guilty of being addicted to our smartphones, whether it is surfing social media or online shopping, be it using WhatsApp to communicate or trending news app to stay updated. From content consumption to content creation, the smartphone has become the hub of all activities. As a result of limited studies, it was reported that smartphone users had mild side effects such as migraine. Migraine is an episodic headache type, which is the second most common in primary headaches. And now a new study finds a link between smartphone usage and migraine. The article title is The Relationship of Migraine with Smartphone Use. The study was published in the Disaster and Emergency Medicine Journal Volume 2, Number 4, in page 126, written by Sahin and Dolanbay in 2020. Okay, now I'd like to move on to the summary of the article. The aim of the article is to determine the existence of the relationship between the daily duration of smartphone use and the severity and frequency of attacks of migraine. Researchers studied 119 migraine patients, which is 53 males and 66 females in minimum age 19 and maximal age 69. Researchers questioned the participants by asking about their first preference for smartphone use, daily duration of phone use, educational status, and whether they had received migraine treatment previously. The band severity of patients was evaluated by the Visual Analog Scale or VAS, and the data obtained were statistically analyzed using IBM SPSS 20 program. P less than 0.05 was considered significant for all statistical data. It was observed that smartphone users' daily duration of time spent on the phone was maximum 8 hours and minimum 1 hour. The average period of migraine attacks of 119 patients was observed to be approximately 12 times a year. It was found that the frequency of migraine attacks was less frequently observed among those with drug use compared to those without drug use, while the average of migraine attacks of 38 patients with drug use was 7.65 times on average in a year. It was observed to be 9.80 times in a year in the group without drug use. In this table 1 shows the relationship between the level of education and drug use. In this table 2 shows the relationship between the preferences for phone use and the frequency of migraine attacks. In this table 3 shows the relationship between the drug use and VAS or Visual Analog Scale. As a result of the G-square test, it was known that no significant relationship was found between the severity of migraine pain and the duration of phone use. between the severity of migraine pain and the preference for phone use, and between the severity of migraine pain and gender. And there are significant relationship was found between the severity of migraine pain and the number of migraine attacks per year, which is P equal to 0.01. Researchers state that our body has a weak electromagnetic area, or EMA, since it consists of water, ions, and electrolytes by 70%. The frequency range of mobile phones are between 10 MHz to 3000 GHz, and they have hyperfrequency EMAs. These mobile phones with a powerful frequency may have destructive effects on tissues containing high concentration of electrons and ions. And there are scientific studies especially about the effect of electromagnetic waves emitted by mobile phones on human health. The excessive use of smartphones is estimated to cause some organic and psychological health problems. The group playing games on the phone, CW2, had the highest percentage of migraine attacks by 32.2%. The researchers considered that it was due to the fact that focusing on the constantly changing colored light on the screen for a long time while playing games could be a triggering factor that could increase the frequency of attacks. Researchers recommend that the long-term use of smartphones, which is considered to be among the causes of migraine and migraine attacks, should be avoided. Furthermore, it is necessary to raise the awareness of people with headaches in society regarding the harmful effects of smartphone exposure on migraine. Lastly, I'd like to talk about my point of view for the article. I agree, especially with the researcher's suggestion that the long-term use of smartphones, which is considered to be among the cause of migraine and migraine attacks, should be avoided. And furthermore, it is necessary to raise the awareness of people with headaches in society regarding the harmful effects of smartphone exposure on migraine. But, in my opinion, there are some unrelated description between the result and the discussion part in that article. Thanks for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.